Y'all, while I got y'all on the line and I'm in the spirit of recording, we might as well get into a little bit of race in politics, as that's what life all today is about, nothing but race in politics. Y'all, the Bravo sphere, the reality TV sphere, social media is up in arms because one of Real Housewives of New York's favorites, Ramona Singer, and Ramona was my girl because she reminded me of Miss Kenny. But Ramona Singer is in trouble, y'all, because folks are saying she used the N-word and she racist and saying all types of inappropriate stuff with black people, including the problems of the black community, and I'm paraphrasing here, is that most of them do not have fathers. And y'all, we have got to talk about the way that some of these white Jews are expecting people of black African descent or people who are just unrelated or unknowledgeable about the conflict are expected to respond about the conflict that's going on over there between Gaza and Israel. Want to talk about it? Here you go. Nessa girl, I know that was a lengthy intro, and I was looking for one more story, and I was going to title this video, Do You Know What My Problem Is with White People? But we're going to get started with one white people, broken English alert, Ramona Singer. Now, y'all, I've been looking through the TMZ and through the internet for the last couple of days, and all these different stories are leaking about Ramona Singer saying a lot of racially insensitive things, using the N-word, saying things to the production staff like, oh my God, there's so many of you now, please don't change your hair because I won't remember any of your names. And then also making statements about black people in reference to, you know, one of the biggest problems with our community is the fact that they don't have fathers. And while some of y'all are easily triggered by, you know, racial insensitivity and things like this, me, on the other hand, I'm simply not surprised. Can anybody look at drunk ass Ramona Singer and be surprised? I'm not. To be honest with you, I'm not going to say that, you know, all of the ladies on the Real Housewives of Atlanta are Real Housewives of New York are racist, but I'm willing to bet that many of them in the closet share her sentiments. You know, something that's very unique in moving back to Miami from Atlanta, not being, you know, surrounded and insulated by blackness. I've come into contact with a lot of white people and a lot of Latin people, and I am astounded at just how much misinformation many of them carry as truths, right? And you can't get mad at misinformation per se because people don't know what they don't know. And if you don't have exposure to a particular community, if you're not part of a particular community, and if the issues in the particular community are not issues of yours, then I'm not expecting you to know what the hell is going on. Just like I really don't know what's going on in Israel and Gaza, I cannot tell you the issues that plague the Indian community nor the Asian communities in America. Hell, I can barely tell you what issues plague white folks in America. I'm just not part of those communities. I don't know. And then a large part of me, frankly, doesn't care. I mean, that's just basic human nature. So I give people a pass for not knowing. The issue that I have, though, is that at least I am astute enough to shut the fuck up. I don't walk around holding the title to see the problem with this community is. And that's my problem with white people. Y'all are entitled to everything, including information and narratives. How is it Ramona Singer and the Ramona Singers of the world that you can so definitively speak on what the problem is in the black community? You've observed black people as you drive through Brooklyn on a taxi cab. You observe black people as you see them criminalized on television. You've observed black people as extras on episodes of Law and Order, and you have drawn conclusions that are not based in fact, but based in racial bias and emotions. Now, we are not going to pretend like absentee fathers are not a problem in the African American community, because to a degree they are, but not to the degree that that's the main thing wrong with us in our youth, and damn sure not to the degree that racism and systematic oppression has had the effect on the current status of black people. And see, that is the issue that gets me upset so many times with white folks, because they will tap dance around every other factor outside of the truth. And here is why. They refuse to confront the truth, because if you confront the truth, it means you have to be accountable. And in being accountable, you have to take action. And in taking action, it means that you may lose some of the comforts that you become accustomed to. And those comforts don't have to be luxuries of the material type. Doesn't have to be real estate. Doesn't even have to be money. It could be the comfort of peace of mind. It could be the comfort of clear conscience. It could be the comfort of willful ignorance and the bliss that comes along with ignorance. Who wants to give that up? If I just pretend like I don't see it, don't know it, don't attribute it to something else, I can continue to live in my peaceful, luxurious, simple, comfortable life. And I think that's the part these days and times that most white people are concerned about. I definitely think that they're smart enough to know at this point that acknowledging systematic racism and oppression is not going to make your wealth disappear. I think it's more so a mental thing about them having to accept responsibility that yes, you were not slaves and many of you were not alive during Jim Crow, but you still reap the benefits of all of those things, and you have the social standing and the social currency that you have in the world today because of those things. And to confront those things means that you are a part of the problem, and a lot of them are simply unwilling to do so because it's a heavy cross to bear. It is a heavy cross to bear. I'm gonna cut them some slack just for a little bit. Who knowingly wants to be a part of knowing that when you look across the world in the United States and you see people in this situation, that I'm a part of that? That's a lot for some people to mentally carry, especially people who've never experienced triumph and hardship in their lives. You see the way white people kill themselves over losing their jobs, kill themselves over getting a divorce. You know what I'm saying? Kill themselves, be living rich, and kill themselves. Nia Long said something that was so profound to me. She did an interview, and she was talking about, her reputation for being difficult. And she was like, I'm never going to be afraid to speak up for myself. And she was like, what you going to do? Fire me? She said, I'm not afraid of being broke. Hell, I've been broke before. Baby, when she said that part right there, that thing hit me. Because listen, and this holds true for a lot of black people. We have figured out how to be happy, joyful, familial, communal in the midst of not having no money. Because we ain't have it for so long. We didn't have it for 400 years of slavery. We didn't have it through construction. We didn't have it through Jim Crow. And many of us don't have it now. We still had to find the joy down in our hearts. Now a lot of us now are upwardly mobile, but catch these T's, baby. The real gag is, I'm like Nia Long, being broke don't scare me. That don't get me wrong. I don't want to go back there because it ain't a beautiful feeling, but I know how to do it. And I know how to do it with class, dignity, and grace. So to her point, that shit don't scare me, baby. Let me tell you something. If my money got funny today and tomorrow, the first thing I'm doing is letting go of this apartment. Second thing I'm doing is letting go of this car. Okay? Third thing I'm doing is letting go of Houston's and my shopping sprees at Gucci. Baby, let me tell you something. I know how to make me a pot of spaghetti and eat on it for the week. I know how to go down to that deli and get me a pound of ham and a half a pound of mustard cheese and a loaf of Sara Lee honey wheat bread and make that thing do what it do, baby. I eat me a sandwich for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just one. I scratch it, baby. I know how to eat me a piece of toast and a can of chicken noodle soup. Okay? Baby, I know how to go get me a packet of Kool-Aid and a thing of sugar and some water, and that be my juice for the month. You ain't scaring me. Baby, I know how to get rid of my cable and use my cell phone to double back as my TV and my communication device. Baby, you not scaring me. Baby, I know how to leverage my friends and my personality to get a free ride to the club. Baby, you not scaring me. Baby, I know how to go to the bar with $5 in my pocket and smile in a bitch face and get me a couple free drinks when I want to go out because I'm still broke. Baby, you not scam me. Baby, I know how to go around my friend's house and volunteer to wash their dogs or wash their kids and ask them, can I wash 2 loads of clothes while I'm over there? Baby, you not scam me. Baby, I know how to go around my friend's house and help her cook in order to help get a plate. Baby, you not scam me. Okay? And last but not least, baby, I know how to put this dick in this ass on the motherfucking boulevard if I have to, bitch. Cause what? You not scam me. But white folks on the other hand, child, y'all get a little piece of demotion. Y'all get one little piece of job. Y'all get y'all country club membership revoked. And y'all hoes be ready to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge. Not me, girl. Now, child, this started about Ramona. Where I'm going? Focus, Quentin. Focus, focus, focus. Where was I going? Ooh, it felt good to go on that tangent. Focus, 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 focus. It came back to me. I was speaking on the mental fragility that they have from being in places of privilege for so long and not knowing how to deal with the smallest piece of adversity. Now, I will say this. I definitely think the target on Ramona or the witch hunt for her racist ways or to expose her racist ways came after the addition of Ebony K. Williams. I said this out loud publicly and I'll say it again right now. Ebony K. Williams was the worst addition to the Real Housewives of New York. I think Ebony K. Williams was the worst casting addition to any franchise of the Real Housewives of anything. And here is why. It's not because I have a thing against Ebony K. Williams. It's just because Ebony K. Williams has a stick. She has a thing. And her thing is incongruent with the thing that is the Real Housewives. Ebony K. Williams' brand is smart, intelligent, political, and socially conscious black girl. The Real Housewives brand is brainless beauty, bounties of money. Okay? That's what the Real Housewives was. And it's funny because on the surface, she checked all the boxes. Yes, she rolled in the circles or whatever the case may be, but she just was cut from a different cloth than a lot of these ladies. And I've also said this too. This is when diversity goes wrong. Some things on television don't need to be diverse. Okay? You're not going to get me to believe that Ramona, Luann, drunk-ass Sonia, what's my girl, Dorinda Medley, you are not going to convince me that on any given day of the week when them girls go out that they got a black girlfriend. They may know a black girl. They may know 2 or 3 black girls. They may run into a couple black girls in some of the spaces that they go into and they may be friendly with. But you are not going to convince me that any of those girls got a black girl that roll and they click. And when I say roll, I mean like every time you see our group, you see me. Like y'all already know whenever I'm down to the bar with the Honda cars be, who I'm going to be with, right? My little crew. Y'all know the names. Miss Cindy, Miss Kenny, Miss Ricky. Y'all know the names. Y'all know when I be on the phone. I be on the phone with my homegirl Quisha. Y'all know when I'm in Atlanta, I be with Jonathan and I be with Pretty Place, Tanya. I be with James. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the people. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to see no black girl rolling with them like that. So I don't know why they put Ebony in that situation. And then on top of that, I don't know why Ebony walked into that situation thinking that she was going to just completely pivot the whole thing and turn that shit into the Sister Soldier show. Quite frankly, nobody wanted to hear that shit. And I'm black like this and not like this. But there comes a time when I put black like this down and I just want to be black like this. I just want to laugh and have a good time. I don't want to march from Montgomery to Selma. I don't want to speak about systematic racism and oppression. I don't want to think about the troubles and the weight of being black in this country. There are sometimes I just want to throw my goddamn legs up or open them motherfuckers, okay? And luxuriate while I'm just watching rich people get drunk and have fun. And that is okay. The world is heavy. And so when you introduce somebody who has such a heavy social and political energy to a foo-foo group of clueless, white, rich drunks, you know what I'm saying? What you got was the shit show that quite frankly ended the Real Housewives of New York as we knew it. Like after the Ebony K. Williams debacle and the no reunion, You know, the show just went to shit, and then they tried to do the Legacy show on Peacock. They couldn't get the contracts right. Now they got a whole new cast of new people. Now, what they could have done, if they wanted to do diversity and inclusion, they could have let them old hoes run concurrently. They could have used Leah to spin her off into a more diverse, younger group of affluent black socialites, Latina socialites, and little young white girls, because it is more believable that the younger group of New Yorkers are a more mixed bag of nuts. That would have been believable. But to thrust a black woman into the ranks of them old hoes, that shit was a disaster waiting to happen, and the disaster is what it was. Are we shocked at Ramona Singer? Absolutely not. Well, so I want to switch gears for a little bit and talk about the war that's going on in Israel and Gaza. And I'm not going to approach this from a political pundit perspective, because that's not who I am. And I don't pretend to be a history buff and be all up in that stuff like that. I like to drink, slap five, and, you know, have fun. I'm leaving it at that. I was about to say something about in between my legs and in my butt, but this ain't the proper conversation or context for that. Nevertheless, I want to talk about the social expectations that's been placed on the American population, the non-Jewish population, and the people of color population from Jewish people over here in America. Because down here in Miami, where we have a very strong Jewish community, you know, I'm a little perturbed, and I've been having a little bit of issue, okay? Now, listen, I understand from a human perspective that y'all family members, y'all people, y'all clan, you know, are in danger, are being killed, are under attack. And the same holds true for the Palestinians. Let me be quite honest with you. As an African American who faces my own challenges, both current and historical, when it comes to race, religion, origin, country, land, freedom, on one degree or another, I definitely understand what it is that both sides are going through mentally and emotionally. If nobody understands it, African American people understand it, okay? But what I am saying is that I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't have a position or a side other than it needs to stop, because both sides are human beings. That's literally where my position starts and stops. Now, if you were forcing me, if my life depended and I had to check a box on who I think is a little more accountable for what's going on right now, I'm not going to lie to you. Based on my own independent research, I would say Israel is. Based on what I've been able to read and deduce on my own as a free thinker. But it's weird, right? And here's why I say I don't have a dog in the fight, and I am minding my gay African American business. Because every time I read something or I have a conversation with someone about something and I think I know something, I read something else that's contradictory, or I have a conversation with someone else that's contradictory, or I read something else and I have a conversation that makes me question what I read prior and gives me a little bit more understanding. And the conclusion that I've drawn is that this thing is bigger than me. It's above me now. I don't understand it. And I know this is going to sound jacked up, but because it doesn't affect me nor apply to me, I just don't even have the wherewithal or the capacity to go down this rabbit hole and just go down for years and years and years, and before Christ and before the Bible. I just don't have it in me to go through it, because at the very end of the day, that information don't benefit me nor my people. And that's just real. Okay. But here's the reason why I don't feel bad for saying what I just said. Because the reality of the situation is, y'all took the same damn approach when we were going through the Black Lives Matter situation. Because I'm not going to lie to you. What's going on in Israel and Gaza right now really feels like an all lives matter situation to me. It feels like all lives matter. And it's funny because, and I'm not speaking of all, I am pretty sure that there were progressive people who were Jewish who are part of the Black Lives Matter movement. And let's be clear here. Not the organization or the institution, because I don't support them scamming hoes. I'm talking about the movement. Okay? I'm sure that there were Jewish people that were part of the movement. But I'm willing to lay my life on a train line with the train coming and bet that that was not the general sentiment of the overall Jewish community. Because here's the thing that a lot of Jewish people do that gets under my goddamn skin that I do not like. A lot of Jewish people, from my experience, the ones I come in contact with, especially here in Miami, fail to forget that independent of being Jewish, they still benefit from white privilege. And every time that we get into a discussion about race and inequality and oppression, they love to throw out, well, but I'm a Jew. Yeah, but you know what? And my rebuttal always is, but nobody has to know you're a Jew. And with that being said, you get to walk around the world or Miami Beach or Florida or wherever the hell you live with all the privileges of being a white person. Many of you, okay? And so it's not the same. It's not the same. And while I realize that historically and biblically y'all went through a level of oppression, so on and so forth, quite frankly, your oppression, and this is not the oppression Olympics, but your oppression and how it manifests itself in 2023 and our oppression and how it manifests itself in 2023 are two totally different experiences. We have two totally different experiences. And here's the thing, and where y'all go wrong. I'm not going to attempt to speak on yours because I don't know what your experience is. You know what I'm saying? Here's what I do know being a black person. Being a black person coming from Christian communities and of a Christian background, I can honestly tell you in 40 years of my life, I've never heard a black person say, I hate the Jews. I have never heard the people in my church and the people in my community say Christians are better than Jews. I have never heard any black Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, Pentecostal, or Apostolic ever say, we don't mess with the Jews are bad people. Honestly and truly, in the African American community, as sad as it is, we always hold the Jews to high regard and aspire to be them. If you said have any kitchen table talk with African American people, we always say, like the Jews do. Or we go to the thrift shop in the good Jewish community. Or you know what I'm saying? The Jews always stick together. That has always been the sentiment. So when you guys talk about this religious persecution and this oppression as a result of religion, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never seen it. And I'm going to treat you the way a lot of white people treat us. It doesn't exist. I've never seen it. You guys are just being overly sensitive. It doesn't exist. No, it can't be that bad. And with respect, with all due respect, from my vantage point, it doesn't. Because I've never seen it, witnessed it, heard it, or expressed it. But here is the difference between me and a lot of you. I would never sit in the company of a Jewish person, have them explain to me the oppression and the negative feedback they've gotten from the greater world as consequence of being Jew, and try to rebuttal them and say it didn't happen or it's not that bad or give them a but this or a but that. I would just shut the fuck up and listen. Because I don't know what y'all experience. I'm not a part of your community. I don't witness Christian versus Jew interactions. I've never witnessed them. So I would just shut my damn mouth and just listen and be like, And whether I believed it or not, I would go on about my business, butter my bread, eat my bagel, and go on about my damn day. But oftentimes I think African American people are not granted the same luxury or level of empathy. Again, going back to white people feeling entitled to the narrative and all information, I think the black community, as it relates to other communities, y'all like to dictate and tell us what our experience and our oppression is, and it's not fair and it's not right. And it's for reasons like that why I'm minding my goddamn business when it comes to this Gaza and this Israel shit. Okay? All lives matter. But the point that I was making is there has been an expectation now placed on people who have nothing to do with this by the Jewish community that we stand up and we make a statement about what's going on in Israel and we condemn Gaza. I have multiple friends here in Miami who have businesses that are near Jewish communities or have businesses that have, Jewish customers or whatever the case may be. And many of them have been contacted by members of the Jewish community stating that people want to know why you haven't made a statement about Israel. For several reasons. Bitch, it ain't none of my damn business. Number two, the statement that we want to make, y'all ain't going to be happy with. The statement that we want to make is all lives matter. I'm sorry. You're not going to get me to condemn them people in Gaza. I don't give a damn if you are on the negative end of what it is they're over there in Gaza doing. You are not finna get me to condemn those people over there in Gaza. Just like the people over there in Gaza are not finna get me to condemn these people in Israel. Okay? I'm not getting in the middle of it. It's not my fight. And to expect people to come out and do that is wrong. And then the rebuttal is, you know what I'm saying? Also, on our business platforms, a lot of people in their business platforms, they don't want to be political. And you know what? And here's what's funny. You've got black business owners who were afraid to even put up Black Lives Matter posts on their business pages as a to prevent from alienating their white and Jewish and other race, creeds, and religions, to keep from alienating those people and keeping them from patronizing their business. You got black people who are scared to even put up Black Lives Matter support posts. So if people who look like me were afraid to even put up Black Lives Matter posts to prevent negative consequences to their business, what the hell make you think we about to get involved and post anything and to ask of other people to do that? Y'all are real good at it. Y'all stay insulated in y'all little communities and y'all act as if the world outside of y'all communities don't exist. So then to now expect the outside world to come jump in y'all shit, I just think that's asinine. And again, as a black, you know, and I'm going to take it there. And I think it's completely asinine to ask black people of all people to get in the middle of y'all shit. I do, because it is those Jewish people here in America, a lot of you, and not all, but you carry the same opinions and attitudes as the white Christians, because a lot of y'all live the same damn lives and are afforded the same damn privileges and have the same negative opinions as black people. So I challenge any Jewish person out there, before you fix your lips and unpart your mouth to say anything to anyone, especially a black person, about posting something in support of Israel, you better look back through your goddamn timeline, your feed, your social media posts. You better make sure your ass was damn near Al Sharpton when it came to Black Lives Matter. And if you cannot definitively in your conscience, in your heart, in your soul, between your legs and in your butt, say that you stood 10 toes down with Black Lives Matter and George Floyd and Sandra Bland and Breonna and all these other people when the stuff was going down, and if you wasn't all up in the mix speaking about racism, inequality, police brutality that's been going on to black people in this country since the beginning of goddamn time, then please get off my line expecting me to say anything in support of damn Israel. It's not fair. Now, you can ask me to say something in support of being alive. You can ask me to say something in support of being human. But don't ask me to say anything in support of one side. It's unfair. Because now you're asking me to do for you what you weren't willing to do for me. And when we asked and begged and pleaded and tried to explain to you what was going on, you gave us a but this and a but that and why. And if black people only do this, and if you just listen to the police, and if you just comply, then why do Black Lives Matter? So right now, what you're asking for is an Israeli life. Child, I had to come back and add one more thing to the minutes. As I was getting ready to upload and edit this video, I just scrolled through Instagram real quick and it said, ooh, Ramona Singer fired from real estate job at Douglas Elliman amid news. She used the N-word and said most black people do not have jobs. Ramona Singer booted from BravoCon after texting nigga while trying to downplay using the N-word in a text message to Page 6. Ramona Singer allegedly used the N-word and said most black people do not have fathers, Lord. And just like that, Ramona Singer was, she about to get the Neely Leaks treatment. They're going to erase her ass from all things Bravo. Ramona, it was nice knowing you, baby. Karma and justice is moving swift and efficiently these days. Y'all stay tuned, and we're going to keep an eye on this situation, because I'm sure there is more L's Ramona going to take as a result of using this word.